So apparently, Abdul Wahid, aka Gervonta Davis, has been having a little Twitter beef with Benn. Conor Benn is a welterweight. He is the son of Nigel Benn, one of the best 168-pound fighters, in my opinion, to step in the ring. But Conor Benn isn't that guy, in my opinion. He fights at the welterweight division. I don't think he's as talented as his father, but that's a whole another topic. But Tank Davis fights at whatever weight class he fights at, be it catch weights. If he wants to fight at 135, depending on the opponent, he will. If he wants to fight at 140, he'll fight that opponent. But there'll be stipulations in the contract, choosing the glove, choosing the referee, rehydration clauses, and so on, being that he is the quote-unquote A-side. And I hate the MOBC. We hate this whole A-side conversation. As soon as I hear someone talk about A-side, if they're trying to debate me, I don't even want to hear it. Okay. But he calls the shots, apparently, because he's a pay-per-view star who is fighting a bunch of nobodies. And he has a bunch of fans who don't want to see him fight certain opposition. They pretend that they want to see him fight Haney. They pretend that they want to see him fight Lomachenko or Teofimo, guys like that. But in reality, they don't want to see that, right? They'll say things like he's too small, he doesn't fight at 140, and so on and so on. But he's had fights. He's had fights at the 140-pound weight division. And he had fights at 135-pound division. It's just that, again, he chooses when and what weight class he wants to fight in. So the MOBC, really, we don't care about what Tank Davis brings to the table, because the MOBC wants to see, we want to see Tank Davis step up in competition and prove to us that he really is a good fighter, that he fans claim that he is. I don't think beating Rolly is enough, and I don't think beating Ryan Garcia is enough. I mean, let's just be real. Those two guys are complete hype jobs who can sell a fight. That's all it is. They're no different than Tyson Fury's brother fighting a YouTuber. It is pretty much the same level of skills. I mean, I might be a little bit exaggerating, but they're on par. We just saw Rolly was about to lose to Barbosa's. Okay? So I don't want to hear that. Those guys were nothing. Okay? But Conor Benn, I don't know what Conor Benn is doing, but apparently he is right behind Tank Davis when it comes to opponents. First of all, he got caught using banned substances, okay? And the minute that he's supposedly, allegedly, not on it anymore, he had 2 fights without a KO. His resume really don't say much. The best fighter on his resume is Chris Algieri, a C-level opponent. Period. Okay? He is a strength training college student who happened to learn how to box. That's what Chris Algieri is. Okay? So, and he's a natural 140-pound fighter. But if these two happen to fight, first of all, I don't think these guys should fight each other. See, again, Conor Benn is now entertaining the possibilities of fighting Devin Haney, who fights at 140 pounds, and then entertaining a possible fight with Tank Davis, who fights at whatever weight class suits him at the time. Then he calls out wanting to meet Chris Eubank Jr. at a catchweight, which is, to me, I disagree with Hearn. I think that is a clown show. It is not the biggest fight that everyone wants to see in the UK. It would be if Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. had the same impact in the sport of boxing as their fathers, but they don't have that same impact. And on top of that, Chris Eubank is like 3 weight classes above Conor Benn. And Conor Benn wants what he wants him to go down. He wants to meet in the middle. It doesn't make any sense. And all I'm seeing is boxing turn into one big circus show time and time again. Time and time again. Pay-per-view after pay-per-view, not delivering what they should be delivering. And that's the best fighting the best. Now, I have no idea who Tank Davis is fighting next, but I can guarantee you it will not be any of the top 140-pound fighters, and it won't be any of the top 135-pound fighters. And if so, it will be a fighter who looks vulnerable, who looks beatable. And there will be rehydration clauses. There will be picking the judges, picking the referees, and so on and so forth, to make sure that Tank Davis comes out victorious. And if he was to fight Conor Benn, there will be a rehydration clause, and he will make Conor Benn drain himself. And Conor Benn won't beat Tank Davis. Not like that. Now, if Tank Davis was to move up to 147 pounds, no rehydration clauses, I'm picking the bigger man to beat him, and that would be Conor Benn. But when you drain someone and they can't gain a certain amount of weight to be healthy on fight night, Conor Benn won't be as strong as he is. And I do believe Conor Benn is strong. And I do believe he does have good power. But I also believe that the allegations on the PEDs that he's been caught with added more to his power. And as we saw, he had 2 fights and he wins by decision. In his last fight, he really didn't look that great. So my final thoughts on this fight is, if it happens, it is a stupid fight for Tank Davis. It isn't a legacy fight whatsoever for neither one of them. It is a circus show, and it will be PBC putting on another pay-per-view fight that fans will buy, all because there will be promotions selling to the casual fan as if Conor Benn is this big welterweight star and Tank Davis is taking that challenge. That's how they will sell this type of fight. And I just think that the legacy fights are no more. I think the last legacy fight that we saw was Terrence Crawford and Spence, and he's going to go even further up if he fights Canelo. I don't think we're going to see that with Tank Davis, and I definitely don't see that with Conor Benn. And I think these 2 guys are going to have Hearn and Ellerby, or whoever promotes Tank, is going to feed these guys certain fights after certain fights, easy fights, as long as they can sell, as long as they could play out, as long as they could sell tickets with an easy fight. That's what we're going to continue to see. And it's not going to be with just these 2 guys. It'll be like this with the future boxers. Because so far, right now, the only fighter who's showing us that that legacy is important is Devin Haney, is Usyk, is Bivol, Canelo, Crawford. Guys who are willing to take chances. So please like, share, and subscribe. This is the MOBC, This isn't a hate video. We're just telling you what it is. If this fight happens, it's crap.